Hi, and welcome back to the Tom Morgan Drum Studio. Today we're in the Rudimental book, Sequential Approach to Rudimental Snare Drum, and we've reached page 34, which just is an explanation of dynamics, and we've talked about this in other videos, so I won't go over too much of this, but it's important for you to know dynamics just refers to how loud or soft you play. And it's indicated, as you can see there on page 34, if you have the book, which you really need to have if you're going through these lessons with me, A Sequential Approach to Rudimental Snare Drum. You can get it at callenpublications.com, c-allenpublications.com. And so we see the wide range of dynamics here, all the way from PP, pianissimo, which is very soft, to piano, 1P, which is soft, mezzo piano, medium soft, mezzo forte, medium loud, forte, loud, and fortissimo, very loud. And then there's also some explanations down there at the bottom about things like a crescendo or decrescendo, and also a subito piano, which just means suddenly soft, or a forte piano, which means loud and then suddenly soft. So these will be popping up as we go along through the solos. But we want to talk about our first rudiment we're going to deal with today, which is the Flamacue, on the next page, 35. The Flamacue is an interesting rudiment because it has a characteristic left-hand accent. So we want to really bring that out, which means when you play a Flamacue, it starts with a flam, and you want to kind of de-emphasize that flam to help bring out the accent. So a Flamacue sounds like this. Okay, here it is again. So you notice I'm not playing the flam really loud. I'm kind of playing it softer. But that adds an element of syncopation, the emphasis on a weak beat like that, on the E, when E ended, to kind of add some spice to what you're doing when you're playing rudimental drumming. So the first line is just playing right-handed Flamacues, so I'm going to lift my left hand after the first one, first flam, so I can play my accent, and then I lift my right and just lift it again. Traditionally, this rudiment doesn't alternate. So line one is nothing more than just some Flamacues. So here we go. Ready and go and. So again, bring out the accent. That's the thing that makes it interesting when you play a Flamacue. Now, I believe that it's also important to be able to do Flamacues starting with the left hand up. I don't think it makes any difference really whether you start with your right hand up or left hand up. You can still do a Flamacue. A lot of people seem to just only do the Flamacue from the right. But in the book, I throw in some from the left as well. So it's exercise 2 kind of makes you play them with the left hand. So here it is, ready and go, and 1 and 3 and 4 and 3 and okay. So I don't think it makes any difference really with a left hand when you kind of have to bring your left hand up quicker, but we can do that. When we get to number 3, we're playing all right-handed ones, kind of in a hemiola pattern. Ready and go, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and okay. Number 4 just adds a paradiddle, which then makes it so that the Flamacue comes out starting with the left-hand flam. So here's how this works. Ready and go and. that to be a really good exercise to practice. And then 5 has us playing a Flamacue into flam taps. So it sounds like this, 3 and 4 and. Okay, and that's a very common pattern in rudimental drumming. And then we have the last line, number 6, which is a roll into a Flamacue. So we've done rolls into flam rudiments before. Here we're simply going to lift our left hand after we play the rudiment, the 9-stroke roll is connecting with the Flamacue. So the end of the 9-stroke roll is also the first note of the Flamacue, and obviously it's not a flam. But anyway, this sounds like this, 3 and 4 and. Okay, and that makes you play a left-handed Flamacue as well. All right, now the other rudiment we're going to work on today is the 13-stroke roll. And if you've learned the 5 and the 7 and the 9, then the 13 is really no big deal. These rolls are basically just different lengths of the same idea, except when we get to the 6-stroke roll and the 10-stroke roll, those have a little bit of a different thing going. But you can see at the top of page 36, we just have an exercise playing a 13-stroke roll. So it's going to sound like this, 3 and 4 and. Okay, and we can also play that starting with the left, 3 and 4 and. I think it's important to practice it both ways and be able to make the roll sound just as good no matter which hand you start with. Okay, so that's where the roll starts on an upbeat on the and. Number 2 has you starting the roll on the downbeat. So it's on 1 or on 3. So here's number 2. Ready and go and. Okay, and we'd want to do that with the left hand as well. Okay, then number 3 just combines the 13-stroke roll with some paradiddles. So I'll play that one, 3 and 4 and. Okay, and all these exercises must be played, whether it's the Flamacue or the 13 or any of the other ones in the book. Obviously, I'm not going to play them 20 or 30 times without stopping, but when you practice, you want to do that. If you just do it a couple times and quit, that's not going to do you very much good. You've got to play it, and especially when you're trying to work it all out, you're really forming the habit of playing these things correctly. So you have to do it multiple times for that to happen. Okay, number 4, just as a different configuration with some flam paradiddles and flam taps added in. So I'll do that one. Ready and go and. Okay, so another exercise just to practice inserting the 13-stroke roll in with other rudiments. And then the last one is kind of a fun one because it really just combines all the rolls we've covered so far in a little exercise that you can just repeat. And the sticking, you can just use the top sticking and it just repeats itself. You could play a left and a right at the end of the line, and then that would take you right to the bottom sticking. and then play a right and a left at the last beat of the line, which would take you back to the top sticking, so you could move back and forth that way, or just use the sticking that's written and just keep doing one sticking over and over. I'll just do the top sticking a couple of times. Here we go. Ready, and go, and. And again, you could use the other sticking, which I would recommend, because it forces you to play the rolls starting with either hand. All right, so that's the Flamacue and the 13-stroke roll, which are the rudiments that are going to be used in our solo, which is Solo 7. Solo 7, you'll notice, has some dynamics in it, just 2 different dynamic levels, mezzo forte, medium loud, and then the third line goes up to forte, loud, and then back down on the last 2 lines to mezzo forte. There's no repeats in this or anything, so you just start at the top and read it straight down. Be very particular about the position, as always, and work for really clean double bounce rolls. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and go. All right, hopefully you can hear the dynamic changes in there. All right, so that takes care of the Flamacue and 13-stroke roll, and then use Solo 7 as a way to practice those in the context of an actual solo. Our next video in the series will then do the 2 supplemental solos that go with this, but work on these first. All right, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you click the like button, that would be nice. And, hit that little bell, and it'll make it so that you'll be informed when I make new videos. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.